Good morning, my dear friends, to all of you. Referring to you now, time of supply. What for we refer? Time of supply. What is the need of referring time of supply? What is the importance of time of supply? If that is going to be referred, time of supply at most important, not only from the exam point of view, but also from practice point of view. Nowadays, taxpayer running behind time of supply to know correct time of supply, thereby to arrive correct due date to pay the GST in time. Resultantly, to avoid delay payment of GST interest 18% per annum, if not 24% per annum. Taxpayers want to know correct point of levy. What is the point of levy? Time of supply. When taken place? Which month taken place? Sir, it is taken place in the month of January 2025. Then you have to pay the tax by 20th of February. By mistakenly, if you arrive the time of supply instead of January month, you arrive the time of supply in the month of March. Then you're going to pay the GST by 20th of April. There are 2-3 months delay taken place. Unnecessarily, unwantedly, you have to pay the interest at the rate of 18% per annum for delay payment of GST. It's a fancy rate. Therefore, it is utmost important from exam point of view to know the time of supply as well as to know correct due date to avoid the delay payment of GST. In this process, I am bringing to a notice time of supply, supply of goods, where forward charge applies, reverse charge applies. Differently, time of supply has been prescribed. Time of supply, supply of services, where we have forward charge as well as reverse charge. Differently, time of supply has been prescribed. In this process, first and foremost, let us start with time of supply, supply of goods, forward charge apply, where the supply liable to pay GST. In this regard, time of supply in the case other than specified actionable claims. Simplified manner presented here, section 12, subsection 2 of the CGST refers time of supply for supply of goods, forward charge apply other than specified actionable claims, earliest of the invoice date or the date of payment. Sorry to say, earlier of the invoice date or last date to issue invoice. Last date to issue invoice. Whichever is earlier is the meaning of it. Earliest of date of invoice or date of payment. Nothing but date of invoice, last date to issue invoice. But date of payment, by mistakenly also, you should not be considered here, because date of payment, even advance payment, cannot be called time of supply. In the case of supply of goods, forward charge applies in the case where other than the specified actionable claims. In this process, date of invoice we easily come to know. Date mentioned in the invoice is the date of invoice. Then what is the last date to issue invoice? Here we have supply involves movement of the goods. Yes, sir. Section 31, subsection 1, clause A says, hey, Mr. Supplier of the goods, issue the invoice at least on or before, or at least at the time of dispatch of the goods. The last date to issue invoice in the case of supply of goods, forward charge apply is the date of dispatch of the goods, where the goods involves, the supply involves movement of the goods. How to understand supply involves movement of the goods, thereby the invoice last date to issue is date of dispatch, is the last date to issue invoice. How to understand? A person from Kolkata, West Bengal, placed the order for the want of the goods to Mumbai seller. Mumbai seller loaded the goods in the truck, and the truck is moving to the buyer place. Look here. Goods, movement of the goods. Assume a scenario. Here, dear friends, buyer located at Kolkata, buyer here, place the purchase order when first, let us say January 2025 purchase order, and this seller from Mumbai supplying the goods, dispatch that goods 1st February 2025, but amount paid, advance paid, full amount paid advance when, let us say 25th December 2024, goods reached destination 1st March 2025, invoice date, for example I am telling you, let us say on 10th February 2025. There are so many dates are given here. For the seller, time of supply, forward charge apply under section 12 subsection 2, read with section 31 subsection 1 clause A, where time of supply is equal to date of invoice. Yes, when the date of invoice 10th February is 1. Compare with last date to issue invoice as per section 31 subsection 1 clause A, date of dispatch. When dispatch the goods say 1st February 2025. Advance payment cannot be considered as a time of supply. Should not be considered that at all. And date of dispatch immaterial. Date of reach is immaterial. Date of dispatch is material. Last day to issue invoice is the date of dispatch of the goods. Therefore, last day to issue invoice 1st February. Date of invoice 10th February, which is earlier. In the given case, time of supply 1st February 2025. Got the clarity? Sir, invoice not issued 10th February, sir. Invoice issued, for example, sir, on 1st January 2025, sir. 1st January, date of invoice, last day to issue invoice, date of dispatch, namely 1st February, whichever is earlier. Which is earlier that time? 1st January. Sir, no, sir. The invoice issued on 1st January, sir. 1st March, sir. Is it so? Then the 1st March, date of invoice, last day to issue invoice, last date to issue invoice, date of dispatch. Tell me. 1st February. Which is earlier? 1st February is the earlier date. Is the time of supply. Resultantly, correctly if you arrive the February 1st is a time of supply, due date to pay for the February is by 20th of March. Incorrectly if you apply 1st of March is the time of supply incorrectly, then the due date to pay GST also incorrectly you postponing to 20th of April. Instead of paying 20th of March, you are going to pay 20th of April, thereby 30 days delay happen. You have to pay unnecessarily, unwantedly interest for delay payment of GST. Understood? So the importance of time of supply is dash. To know correct due date, for which to know correct time of supply. Resultantly, to avoid dash delay payment of GST interest penalties. Nowadays, question paper is not printing without asking questions from time of supply, especially at intermediate level. CA inter, CMA inter, CS executives. So now you rightly said to me, in case of time of supply of goods comes into picture, forward charge applies, other than specified actionable claims, you speak out, my dear friends. Time of supply is equal to date of invoice or date of last day to issue invoice, amount whichever is earlier. Which is earlier? Is clear? Date of payment immaterial. Is clear? Only when time of supply of goods, forward charge apply, where other than specified actionable claims, this is the provision. Clear? Further, sir, there is a supply without movement of the goods, sir. Supply without movement of the goods. How possible? Why not possible, sir? Supply even without movement of the goods, supply takes place, sir. What do you mean this? Example, I am Mr. C of Chennai, buying and selling of cell phones. I have the place of business in Chennai, Mount Road. A person all the way from Cochin, Kerala, came to my shop in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Approached me, hey, I want 10 iPhone i16 is available, 10 piece I want. 10 piece you want, sir? Available, sir. I saw in my store, it is only 6 are available. 6 are available. I said, could you stay for 1 day? 1 day, please bear with me. By tomorrow, I will make available entire 10 iPhone 16 for you. I am giving discount also for you. Then you said, okay, sir, I will wait. Next day, means 15th of April. 14th of April you approach. 15th of April, I made available. And you purchase. I sold. Sale taking place when? 14th of April, 15th of April. 15th of April. On or before sale taken place. Last day to issue invoice here is the date of sale. You get my point? Sir, I raise the invoice, sir. When you raise the invoice, sir, 14th of April, sir, for 10 laptop, for 10 iPhone 16, on 14th April 2025, I raise the invoice. But I made available the goods to sell on 15th April. Means when is sale taking place? 15th April. Last day to issue invoice? 15th April. This sale, this supply involves movement, without movement, without movement, because goods are available with me. The goods I hand over. Instead of 14th, I sold on 15th. Last day to issue invoice, the date of sale. When that is taking place? 15th of April. Invoice date 14th April, which is earlier. 14th April. It's the same situation. Practically, I am bringing. You approach on 31st of March. You approach 31st of March by coming from Cochin all the way from Kerala to Chennai, Tamil Nadu to my shop. I said, sir, I16 iPhones available with me, sir. You want how many? 10. 6 are available. Balance 4 I made available by tomorrow, sir. Okay, sir, I will wait for you. Then entire 10 iPhones I hand over to you on 1st April. Sale taking place when? 1st April. But invoice raised by me on 31st March. Date of invoice 31st March. Last date to issue invoice 1st of April, which is earlier 31st March. If that is the case, my dear, due date to pay GST 20th April. Is clear? Suppose I have not issued the invoice on 31st March. I issue the invoice on 1st of May. When I issue the invoice 1st of May. But goods are sold to you and when? 1st of April. Sale taking place. Without movement of the goods, supply taking place. If so, the last day to issue invoice, date of sale. When sale taking place? 1st April is the time of supply. When you compare with the date of invoice, 1st of May, which is earlier 1st of April. If 1st of April is the time of supply, due date to pay GST 20th of May. Understand? Supply involves movement of the goods. Last day to issue invoice, the date of dispatch. Is clear? Second point, supply does not involve movement of the goods. Last day to issue invoice, date of sale. Date of sale. That last date to issue invoice compared with date of invoice, whichever is earlier, is a time of supply. In case of supply of goods, forward charge apply where it is other than specified actionable claims. Any doubt? If you have no doubt, I am going to bring to notice practical example on the screen. You please answer to me. The workbook which I already sent to the PC sir, Palaniswamy sir, have you shared with you people? Have you asked him? What he said? He uploading. So he will upload definitely. He is upfront to help the students. That's why I sent to him. Thereby he can able to send this to the live students, face to face, online live students, and recorded watching class students also are there. Recorded class. They are purchasing only recorded class. They won't attend face to face. They won't attend online. They used to take only at their time, at convenient time they want to listen. For them, Palaniswamy is the right person to send. Therefore, I sent to him entire workbook which I am referring now. This is a workbook problem. Almost 200 plus problems are incorporated there with the solutions. Is clear? Now, I am reading the content. By time of asking the doubt, you have to respond to me with the provision, correct? Let us see. X Limited being a manufacturer sold goods to Y Limited wholesaler and issued invoice for the sale on 1st August. Find the time of supply of goods in each of the following independent cases. X Limited removes the goods for delivery to Y Limited on 16th August. These are all independent cases. Now tell me, among the two dates, 1st of August, 16th of August, which is the time of supply? 1st August, because date of invoice or last day to issue invoice, 1st of August or last day to issue invoice, 16th August, whichever is earlier. Which is earlier? 1st August. Is clear? Excellent, perfectly correct. Point number 2, Y Limited collect the goods from premises of X Limited on 10th August. This means supply does not involve movement. In that case, sale taken place 1st August. Invoice issued 1st August. The last day to issue invoice 10th August. Whichever is earlier. Which is earlier? 1st August. Excellent. Point number 3. Y Limited made full payment on 26th July. That means advance payment. What is the time of supply then? Date of invoice, last day to issue invoice. Last day to issue invoice we do not know. But date of invoice we know. Time of supply equal to date of invoice. 1st of August. Advance payment cannot be time of supply. Point number 6. Y Limited credited the payment in the bank account of X Limited 28th July for 3/4 of the goods, and X Limited recorded the same in the books of accounts 3rd August. Goods were dispatched on 5th August from the warehouse. So supply invoice movement of the goods. When the goods are dispatched, 5th August. Last day to issue invoice, date of invoice, which is earlier, is the time of supply. Excellent. You only told me. I have not interfered at all. From this, what do you understand? Date of payment, immaterial. Date of payment, immaterial, irrelevant. It may be advance payment or balance payment, as the case may be, immaterial. Date of payment we are not going to be considered for time of supply. In case of supply of goods, forward charge apply where the supply other than specified actionable claims. Is it clear? Is clear? Is the applicability for your coming May 25 exam, June 25 exam, as the case may be. Coming to time of supply, supply of goods, forward charge apply if it is specified actionable claims. What are they? 6. Speak out. Lottery. 2. Gambling. 3. Betting. 4. Horse racing. 5. Casino. 6. Online money gaming. These and all we called as supply of goods. Supply of goods in the name of actionable claims. What type of actionable claim? Specified actionable claims. It is treated as supply of goods. Is clear? Now, if that comes into picture, the law of the land says, section 12, so section 2 says, time of supply is equal to date of invoice. Last day to issue invoice. Date of invoice or last day to issue invoice or date of payment. See here, date of payment. Among the 3, whichever is earlier. So earliest of, look here, earliest of invoice date, date of payment or last date to issue invoice. You know date of invoice, you know last date to issue invoice. Am I right? Last date to issue invoice. In the case supply invoice, movement of the goods before dispatch of the goods. At the time of dispatch of the goods. If no movement of the goods, at the time of sale is the last date to issue invoice. Then what is the date of payment? My dear friends, one should understand amma, date of payment na enna. Date of payment, listen all of you please. Date of payment has 2 characters. Date of payment. Generally you come across in your BRS, bank reconciliation statement. Be aware of that. There is a book entry. There is a book entry or there is a bank entry. There are two entries. Sometimes client will deposit the money in our bank account but not informing us. We came to know through bank statement later on. Sometimes my account is recorded in the books of accounts but not deposited. Later on deposited. Possibilities are there. If so, if book entry, bank entry, two different dates, let us say 1st January 2025, here 24th December 2025, case 1. Case 2, sometimes here 1st March 2025, here 1st May 2025. If there are two different dates are there, book entry differ from bank entry, simple thumb rule follow. Book entry or bank entry, whichever is earlier. Which is earlier here in the given case? 24th December 2020. Sorry to say, tell me correctly. 1st January 2025, 24th December 2025 I said, not 24. Which was earlier? Which is earlier? 1st January 2025 is the date of payment. Is clear? In the second case, 1st March book entry, 1st May 2025 bank entry. Which is earlier? 1st March. If I say to you here and here, in that case, which is a book, which is earlier? Book entry or bank entry? Bank entry. So 1st March 2025 is what? Date of payment. That's it. Book entry or bank entry, whichever is earlier, you follow this process. Now once you understand book entry or bank entry which is earlier is one of the element here as a date of payment, that you compare with date of invoice as well as last day to issue invoice. Among the three, whichever is earlier is only when supply of goods forward charge applies, the two specified actionable claims are involved. If I bring the problem, able to answer the problem in front of you here as follows. Hopefully you answer this. I am 100% confident on my below students. You will answer this. Example reading as follows. அங்க பார்த்து சொல்லணும். நீங்க book பார்த்தா I will twist you here. தெரியாது என்ன? Look here. Mr. Pokery Private Limited, supplier of online money gaming, registered person under GST located in New Delhi, supplied online money gaming goods on 1st January 2024 to Mr. Appavi of Chennai. Case 1, invoice issued on 1st February 2024 and payment received 26 December 2023. Now tell me, I want the three provision first. Invoice date. Date of invoice, tell me. Invoice date, tell me. 1st January, excellent, 2024. Thereof last date to issue invoice. The last date to issue invoice when? 1st January. Date of invoice 1st February. Last date to issue invoice 1st January 2024. Date of invoice 1st February 2024 and payment received 26th December 2023. Amount which is earlier? 26 December 2023 is the time of supply. That's it. Which is earlier. Second case, invoice issued on 1st February 2024, payment received 26 March 2024. Now tell me, date of invoice 1st February 2024. Last date to issue invoice 1st January 2024. Date of payment 26th March 2024. Got the clarity? Among the which is earlier, ma? 1st January 2024 is the time of supply. Answer is given in the material itself in your handbook. Is clear? Now got it? Any difficulty? No difficulty. Any difficulty, let me know. Now tell me, quickly recapitulation. Time of supply of goods forward as apply. In the case other than the specified actionable claims, time of supply is equal to date of invoice or date of last day to issue invoice. Amount whichever is earlier. Is clear? In the case of supply of goods, forward charge apply, time of supply. In the case of specified actionable claims is equal to date of invoice or date last day to issue invoice or date of payment. What do you mean by date of payment? Date of payment means date of book entry or date of bank entry. Among whichever is earlier is date of payment. Among whichever is earlier, time of supply. Is it clear? Now coming to time of supply of goods, reverse charge applies. Only few specified goods are there on reverse charge. On fingertips you can say. Not for that I have to separately refer the reverse charge chapter. If I say 1, cashew nuts, not peeled, not shelled. Product. Point number 2, BD wrappers called tendu. 3, tobacco leaves. 4, lottery tickets. 5, raw cotton. Get the point. Thereafter, next point, the product involved like peppermint oil. Further, used goods of government, seized goods by the government, supplying under RCM, priority sector lending certificate RCM, and one more point is also the latest amendment. Metal scrap, metal scrap. That metal scrap supplied by unregistered person to registered person, recipient, registered person liable to pay GST under RCM. Got the clarity? Only few points. Exam will give in the given case so and so supply, RCM apply, find the time of supply. Is clear? If so, now tell me, time of supply for supply of goods, RCM applies is what is the time of supply? Look on the screen. Earliest of 1, date of receipt of goods. Second, date of payment. And third point important, first day after expiry of 30 days from the date of invoice. 3 days. Date of receipt of goods, physically when received goods by recipient. 2, date of payment. Date of payment, date of book entry or bank entry, whichever is earlier. Then first day that occurs after expiry of 30 days from the date of invoice. Now here one should understand, as a professionals should understand, under the reverse charge mechanism, who liable to pay GST? Recipient liable to pay GST. Is clear, bro? If the recipient liable to pay GST under RCM, invoice somebody should be issued. Am I right or not? Supplier, a registered person, he will issue the invoice, but recipient liable to pay tax to department. If the supplier is an unregistered person, supplied the goods which is an RCM, then recipient is required to issue invoice under section 31 subsection 3 clause F of the CGST. You got my point? Who should issue the invoice? Supplier. If the supplier is a registered person. If the supplier is an unregistered person, hey recipient, you issue the invoice. When you use the RCM, where the recipient liable to pay GST. Are you getting my point? Now, my dear sir, carefully listen. Cashew nut, not peeled, not shelled, raw form of cashew nut. Supplier is an agriculturalist. Supplier is an agriculturalist. Who is unregistered person? Supply the goods to Britannia Private Limited. Britannia Private Limited, registered person. is a FCM or RCM means upfront I'm telling you RCM. Hey, Britannia Private Limited, you purchase the cashew nuts not peeled, not shelled for your biscuit manufacturing purpose. Yes, sir. You are a registered person? Yes, sir. Being a buyer, recipient, you pay the GST. To pay the GST, there must be a tax invoice. Who should issue? Hey, Britannia company, you are the buyer. You should issue the invoice because the supplier is a registered person. Supply apply RCM, recipient liable to pay tax. Recipient should issue the invoice. Britannia Limited asking, what is the time limit within which I should issue the invoice? Time limit to issue the invoice is within 30 days from the date of receipt of the goods. Within 30 days from the date of receipt of the goods. Who should issue the invoice? Who should issue the invoice? Britannia being a recipient. Is clear? Suppose cashew nuts not peeled, not shelled. Supplier is agriculturalist. Assume a scenario. He is a registered person. Supplier also. Recipient Britannia. Recipient is a Britannia. Registered person. Is a supply RCM apply. Is a supply RCM apply. Who liable to pay? Britannia. But supplier registered person no. If the supplier is registered person, who required to issue the invoice? Supplier. Supplier should issue the invoice. Is clear, bro? Supplier should issue the invoice. What is the time limit within which the supplier should issue the invoice? Means, you know, invoice should be issued on or before the last date. What is the last date? In the case of supply involves movement before dispatch. Supply does not involve movement at the time of sale. Is the last date to issue invoice, that will remain supply here also. If a supplier liable to issue invoice, supplier should be issued in the case of supply involves movement of goods before dispatch. Supply not involve movement of the goods before or at the time of sale. Is the last date to issue invoice. Is clear? Is the time limit applicable for supplier. For the recipient, if recipient liable to issue invoice, when the recipient liable to issue invoice in the RCMA, when the supplier is a unregistered person, in that case, recipient should issue the invoice within 30 days from the date of receipt of the goods. Purinchikonge. Is clear? If that is the case, what is the time of supply for RCM apply? In the case of reverse charge, recipient liable to pay tax, 1. Date of receipt of goods. 2. Date of payment. 3. The first day that occurs after expiry of 30 days from the date of invoice. Is it clear? Got the clarity? Got the clarity? Now, if I bring a problem, able to answer? Let us see. A problem I'm working out along with you by writing on the screen. Listen here. In the given case, supplier, registered person. Supplier, registered person from Chennai, sold what? Raw cotton. Raw cotton sold for rupees 2 lakh. To whom? To recipient, also registered person. This supply RCM apply. Who liable to pay GST? Recipient. Recipient liable to pay GST. Correct? For him, wanted to know what? Time of supply. What is the time of supply means? Listen here, point number 1. Supplier registered person, no? So, invoice issued by yare? Supplier on, let us say today, 14th April 2025. Is clear? Is clear? I am asking you. Then date of receipt of goods. Let us say 1st May 2025. Is clearer? Clearer? Then date of payment. Let us say 1st June 2025. Is clearer? In that case, what is the time of supply for the recipient means there are 3 events. Correct, bro? 3 events. Should be check. First event, date of receipt of the goods. When received? 1/5/2025. Date of payment. When? 1/6/2025. First day that occurs after expiry of 30 days from the date of invoice. Repeating, the first day that occurs after expiry of 30 days from the date of invoice. Date of invoice 14th April. Count start from next day. 30 days count reckoned from next day. Means 15th of April. In April, how many days? Total 30 days. 30 minus 14? 16. 16 days in the month of April. 14 days in the month of May. That means 30th day ends when? 14th May. The first day that occurs after expiry of 30 days means 15th of May. Excellent. So 15th of May 2025. Among the 3, which is earlier? 1/5/2025 is known as dash. Time of supply. In the case of RCM applies. Is it clear? Can you repeat now? Time of supply in case of supply of goods, RCM apply is equal to dash. 1. Date of receipt of goods. 2. Date of payment. 3. First day that occurs after expiry of 30 days from the date of invoice. Among the 3, whichever is earlier. As simple as that. Is clear? Now come back. Referring to you furthermore, my dear friends. The point here. Further referring here. We are here. Am I right? With this supply of goods, the major part is completed. Major part is completed. This entire point is completed. Coming to supply of services, time of supply. Time of supply for supply of services. Time of supply for supply of services. Forward charge applies, meaning thereby supplier of service liable to pay tax. Got the clarity? You being a practicing chartered accountant, you being a practicing cost accountant, you being a practicing company secretary, if you provide these services, for example, to Bharatwaj Institute, who liable to pay GST? Forward charge. Supply, you liable to pay GST. For you, what is the time of supply? Time of supply for supply of services, forward charge apply, then earliest of invoice date, date of payment, thereafter, thereof payment, whichever is earlier. One is date of invoice or date of payment, earlier of these two, whichever is earlier. Provided if the invoice issued by the supplier of service within 30 days from the date of completion of supply of service. If you issue the service, the invoice within 30 days from the date of completion of supply of services, then the date of invoice relevant to compare with the date of payment. What do you mean by date of payment? Book entry or bank entry, whichever is earlier. You got my point? Is clear? Sir, invoice not issued, sir, within 30 days from the date of the completion of supply of service. Why? What happened? Sir, my Supplier of service, so busy, sir. A chartered accountant, cost accountant, company, they are very busy, sir. They provide the services, sir. Complete the services, sir. When? 31st December 2024 itself completed, sir. Till now, 14th April 2025, they are not issued the invoice, sir. When I asked repeatedly, they issued the invoice on 15th April 2025, sir. When the service completed, 31st December 2024. Invoice issued when? 15th April 2025. Have they issued invoice within 30 days, sir? Therefore, in that case, it is not in accordance with section 31, subsection 2. Resultantly, the date of invoice ignored, which is not in accordance with the provision. Then what is relevant? Date of completion of service. When? In our given example, 31st December 2024. That date compared with date of payment, whichever is earlier, is a time of supply. Meaning thereby, in both the cases, advance payment always constitute time of supply. A unique provision it is. Supply of services, forward charge applies, time of supply. Advance payment always time of supply. Advance payment earlier than that of invoice date, earlier than that of date of completion of service. Therefore, in that case, advance payment always constitute time of supply for the advance amount. Now, have you understood this provision? If I ask you to be able to answer, speak out the provision first by yourself. Time of supply, supply of goods, forward charge applies. Supply of services. Time of supply equal to date of invoice or date of payment, whichever is earlier, provided invoice issued within 30 days from the date of the completion of supply of service. Speak out, all of you, my dear. Everyone too good, amma, for me. Suppose invoice not issued within 30 days from the date of the completion of supply of service. In that case, we won't refer invoice date. We'll refer what? Date of completion of service. Compare with date of payment, whichever is earlier. Is it clear? If I bring the problem, able to answer. Let us see how many of you are going to answer this correctly. From our book, referring to you for kind consideration. A machine has to be supplied at site. It is done by sourcing. Not this problem. This problem will take up. Supply of service we are referring. This problem will take up. Question number 20 from our workbook given to you. Determine the time of supply from the following particulars. 8th September, community hall booked for a marriage. Some agreed 1,20,000. Advance rupees 20,000 recorded in the books of account on 8th September. 10th September, advance amount credited in the bank account. 2nd November, marriage held in community hall. 18th December, invoice issued for 1,20,000, including the balance of rupees 1 lakh payable. 22nd December, balance 1 lakh rupee recorded in the books of account. 24th December, payment 1 lakh rupee recorded credited in the bank account. Now we want time of supply, time of supplies, not one, few. Listen to me. Time of supplies may be n number of time of supplies in a given tax period. Tax period, the period for which you are going to pay the tax. April month, tax period. In the April month, 100 times I might have supplied different people services. 100 times time of supply. But 100 times I am not going to pay the tax. For the 100 times time of supply took place in the month of April, due date to pay the GST only one. Understand, Amma? Time of supplies varies for a given month. For that month, due date remains same. Now, in the given case, advance payment received. How much received? For 20,000 rupees of advance payment, time of supply I want. What time of supply? 8th September. How can you say 8 September? You are perfectly correct. How? Whichever, what are they? Book entry and bank entry. Book entry 8 September. Bank entry 10 September. Which is earlier? 8 September. So date of payment, advance payment is a time of supply. Always. Is clear? So for rupees 20,000 advance payment, time of supply is equal to 8 September. If 8 September time of supply, I have to pay the GST on advance amount. When? By 20th of October. Is clear, sir? Got the clarity? Now, what for the advance paid? For a marriage hall to carry the marriage function. That event held when? 2nd November. So services completed when? 2nd November. Is clear, bro? Invoice issued when? 18th December. 2nd November, the service completed. 18th December, invoice issued. Have you issued invoice within 30 days? No. Therefore, the 18th December invoice date immaterial. Irrelevant. So, what is relevant here? Date of completion. When? 2nd November. Payment when received the balance 1 lakh. Payment received for balance 1 lakh. 22nd December. How can you say 22nd December? Book entry 22nd December. Bank entry 24th December. Which is earlier? 22nd earlier. Therefore, there is the date of payment. Date of payment 2nd December. Date of completion of service 2nd November. Which is earlier? 2nd November is earlier. Is the time of supply for the balance rupees 1 lakh. If 2nd November time of supply, then the due date to pay GST 20th December is a due date to pay GST. Got the clarity? For balance 1 lakh rupee. Answer in front of you. Just look and understand. Look and understand. Got it? Is clear? Now please come back. Referring to you now. Time of supply, supply of services, reverse charge applies. Section 13, subsection 3, which refers recipient of service liable to pay tax. There are few services notified by the Government of India by issuing a notification upon the recommendation of the GST Council, like GTA services, advocate services. You get my point? There are reverse charge applicable. Who liable to pay GST? Recipient liable to pay GST. If the recipient liable to pay GST under RCM, what is the time of supply for supply of services means? Very simple. Earliest of date of payment or first day that occurs after expiry of 60 days from the date of invoice is the second point. 1 and 2, whichever is earlier. Sir, invoice who should issue? Supplier is supposed to issue if the supplier is a registered person. Sir, supplier is a registered person, sir. Then recipient should issue invoice. If the supplier liable to issue invoice, if the supplier of service is a registered person, time limit to issue invoice 30 days from the date of completion of service. Correct? In the case of recipient liable to issue invoice, when the supplier is a registered person, recipient should issue the invoice under RCM. Recipient should issue invoice within 30 days from the date of receipt of the service. It is as per section 31 subsection 3 clause F. Supply of goods as well as supply of services. RCM applies. Recipient liable to issue invoice. Time limit remains same. How many days? 30 days from the date of the receipt of the goods or services. Is it clear? That is not going to be changed because the provision what I referred here, section 31 subsection 3 clause F. Is clear? if the recipient liable to issue invoice under RCM only when supplier is a uninsured person. If so, time limit to issue the invoice by recipient in case of supply of goods, supply of services within 30 days from the date of receipt of goods or services. But time of supply for supply of goods, RCM apply date of receipt of goods, date of payment, first day that occurs after expiry of 30 days from the date of invoice. Is clear? Huh? Coming to supply of services, RCM apply. Then what is the time of supply? Date of payment. Date of payment means date of book entry or back entry, whichever is earlier. Compare with first day that occurs after expiry of 60 days from the date of invoice. Amount whichever is earlier is the time of supply. Got the clarity? If I bring to you the example, able to answer? Able to answer? Yes? You have to answer, no? Simple, ma. See, very, very simple, ma. Time of supply should be a lollipop to my students. It cannot be a complicated one. Now look here. Look here, please. Presenting here. Supply of services. Supply of service where RCM applies. Where RCM applies. In the given case, my dear, let us say supplier. Who is supplier? Advocate. Who is a registered person. Supplied legal service to whom? To Bharadwaj. To Bharadwaj. Who is a registered person. Value of supply of service, let us say 1 lakh. 1 lakh. Legal consulting service provided. In that case, invoice should be issued by whom? Invoice should be by supplier to a supplier registered person. So, invoice date 1st April 2025. Here, furthermore, date of payment 1st July 2025. Thereafter, this much information is available. Now, it is RCM or FCM or RCM. Who is the recipient? Is liable to pay GST. For him, time of supply, 2 categories. One is date of payment. When the payment made? 1/7/2025. Compare this with the first day that occurs after expiry of 60 days. When the invoice issued? 1st April. Then count start from 2nd April. So April 29 days. April 29. Correct, Dhanama? April 29 days. Further May 31. 29 plus 31 60. 31st of May is 60 days. Is clear, bro? From date of invoice. Always count reckon from next day, ma. Parang invoice depo 1st April. 2nd April onwards count பண்ணுங்க 60 days. That ends on 31st May, 60 days. The first day that occurs after expiry of 60 days from date of invoice is equal to 1st June 2025. Which is earlier? 1st June is the time of supply. Time of supply in the given case here is 1st June 2025. Got the clarity? If the June month time of supply, they are liable to pay GST monthly by what date? By 20th of July. Pay off without any delay. Is clear? Any difficulty? If you have no difficulty, then simplify manner I can say that this particular major part of time of supply is completed for your batch. The major portion is this. The toughest area is this. Referring to you now, other situations for which time of supply. You might have been come across practically goods sent on sale or approval basis. Goods sent on sale or returnable basis. When the goods supplied sale or approval basis, not a supply. You are aware of that? Goods sent on sale or approval basis. Is it supply? No. Only when the buyer accepts the purchases is a supply. In that case, what is the time of supply means? Look here. Time of supply in case of goods sent on approval basis, sale or return basis, goods sent, date of invoice compare with first day that occurs after expiry of 6 months from the date of removal, among whichever is earlier time of supply. Goods sent on sale or approval basis. What is the time of supply? Date of invoice. Compare with the first day that occurs after expiry of 6 months from the date of dispatch, namely removal of the goods. Example is as follows. Example, presenting for a kind consideration. Here, let us say Mrs. X Limited supplied means dispatched, supplied goods on first, let us say May 2024, goods supplied. Buyer accepted goods to purchase on 1st June 2024. So this should invoice date. Invoice date. When means when accepted? 1st June 2024. That date buyer accepted the goods, invoice the date. The date of invoice compare with first day that occurs after expiry of 6 months from the date of dispatch. When the dispatch? 1st of May. That means May, June, July, August, September, October 31st is 6 months. Is okay na? The first of August, September na? Emma, 1st of May month 1 month, May, June, July, August, September, October. So 31st October, 6 months. First day that occurs na? 1st of November. So 1st of November, sometimes hanging. 1 minute. 1st of November 2024. Which is earlier? 1st of June is the time of supply in case of the goods sent on sale or approval basis. Goods sent on sale or approval basis. Is it clear? Any difficulty in the given case? Now please come back. Once you understand that concept, bringing to a notice a case where if the goods are sent continuously supplying, goods sent on continuous basis like a gas, liquid, supplying continuously through pipeline, in that case, what is the time of supply here? The law of the land here says that time when each statement is issued or the payment received, whichever is earlier is the time of supply. Date of statement or date of payment received, whichever is earlier. If the goods sent on continuous basis, continuous supply of goods, what is the time of supply? Part completion, part time of supply. How to understand? part completion, 1 month completed, statement issued, date of statement. For the part payment received, among the two dates, date of statement, date of payment, whichever is earlier is the time of supply. One simple example in front of you here itself is there. X Limited, supplier of gas through pipeline, continuously monthly payments are made by the recipient as per the contract. Every quarter, statement of the goods dispatch and the payment is made, is issued, and a recipient has to pay the differential amount, if any, later on. Now, 5th August, 5th September, 6th October, payment received 2 lakhs each month. For the quarter July to September, 20th, 3rd October, statement of accounts for the quarter July to September issued by the supplier, showing the amount of 2 lakh 56 rupees as unpaid. Determine the time of supply for the given continuous supply of goods. Sir, here payment date, say payment. One is 5th August. How much? 2 lakhs. Thereafter, 5th September, 2 lakhs. Thereafter, 6th October, 2 lakhs. Is clear? Statement when submitted for the entire quarter? 3rd October. 3rd October or 5th August? Which is earlier? 5th August. For 2 lakhs, time of supply is 5th August. Thereafter, 5th September or 5th September payment received, part payment. Statement submitted 3rd October, which is earlier, 5th September. For 2 lakhs, time of supply 5th September. Thereafter, statement submitted when? 3rd October. Payment received, which is earlier, 3rd October. In the given case, 3rd October is the time of supply in the third case. Got the clarity? Any difficulty? As simple as that. We refer 2 points. One, continuous supply of goods. Earlier we referred goods sent on sale or approval basis. Sale or return basis. If the buyer returned the goods within 6 months from a dispatch, not a supply. Buyer accepted within 6 months to purchase. The date of purchase is the date of invoice, is the time of supply. If not purchased, not returned for a period of 6 months from a dispatch, time of supply goes to first day that occurs after expiry of 6 months from a dispatch. Therefore, I made a shorter date of invoice, date of purchase or date of first day that occurs after expiry of 6 months, whichever is earlier. Got the point? My point. Now please come back. Under the supply of goods, time of supply. Under supply of goods, time of supply. Miscellaneous points I am referring. Just now refer what are the continuous supply of goods. Before that, goods sent on sale or approval basis. Furthermore points are there. What about time of supply in case of supply of goods, voucher? You know voucher? Gift voucher. Gift voucher. In the sense, listen to me my dear. In the sense, if you purchase from a reputed shop, like let us say Adidas, shoe, cloth for rupees 25,000, asking the discount, they will say, sir, no discount, sir. Reputed, sir, fixed prices, sir. Then you disappoint or not? To make you happiness, they say, sir, we issue the gift voucher, sir, rupees worth 500. Next time when you come, you can use this gift voucher 500. We redeem this value from the next purchases. You get my point, sir? Such a type of vouchers we call gift vouchers. Or sometimes you want to give the gift to a friend as a gift watch. He has the watch. You want to give the gift shoe. He has many shoes. You want to gift a cloth. He has many cloth. You got confused. What is to be gift to my friend? Let us give the cash as a gift, which is cash voucher, namely gift voucher. There are gift shops are offering, selling the vouchers, gift vouchers, rupees 5,000, 10,000 like that. So, what is the time of supply for the gift vouchers issued by the supplier? Listen to me. Gift vouchers, time of supply. Look on the screen. Gift voucher. If it is issued against identifiable product to redeem, suppose rupees 5,000 gift voucher is issued to redeem only shirt. When you next time come and purchase shirts, pants, shirt only, if you purchase, there this rupees 5,000 can be redeemable. You purchase a cloth for rupees 12,000. 12,000 minus 5,000, balance only you can pay. But this is a supply. Voucher is a supply of goods. What is the time of supply? If it is identifiable a product, the date of issue of voucher itself is the time of supply, whether the actual redemption taking place or not. Issued a voucher on 14th April 2025. You redeemed when you purchased 12,000 rupees worth of the cloth in the month of December 2025. What is the time of supply? 14th of April itself, the day on which issue the voucher. Suppose if the voucher issued rupees for 5,000 as a gift voucher, not against any particular product. It may be any product. You purchase a shirt, you purchase the pant, you purchase the goggles, you purchase the cell phone, you purchase the watch, whatever is available in our shop you purchase. From that purchases, in future period of time, we will redeem this gift voucher rupees 5,000. That means at the time of issue of voucher, we do not know which product it is to be redeemed. In that case, time of supply postponed such gift vouchers, actual date of redemption. Postponed to actual date of redemption is a logically whole good. Why you know, my dear? If 5,000 rupees voucher is given against a shirt to redeem, the rate of GST for shirt we know. What rate? 12% GST. Then if you know the GST rate, you pay the GST at the time of issue of voucher. Suppose if rupees 5,000 voucher can be redeemable for watch, it may be redeemable for shoe, it may be redeemable for goggles, it may be redeemable for shirt, multi products. So multi rate of GSTs are there. We do not know which GST you are going to be considered here. Therefore, the best possibility application here is when you are going to redeem after 4 months, 3 months, you are going to redeem. That time you purchase for rupees 6,000 shirts or 6,000 you purchase shoe. That time rate of GST for shoe 18%. That time is a time of supply. If the voucher issued against any product which can be available in future period of time to redeem, then time of supply postponed to the future date, actual date of redemption. If not redeemed, not a time of supply at all. Is clear, my dear friends? Further, time of supply in case of interest, delay payment, charges. As you are aware of that, if the main supply taxable, for example, sale of laptop for rupees 1 lakh, applicable rate of GST 28%. Is clear? It is sold on credit basis. Sold on credit basis. Sold on 1st January 2025. Here, time of supply for the sale. When sold? 1st January 2025 time of supply. Is clear? On credit basis. Saying that if you pay within 1 month, no interest. If you pay after 6 months, there is interest of rupees 10,000. Then the buyer who remitted the payment to supplier after 6 months. Then delay payment, interest. How much interest? 10,000. When paid? paid on, let us say, 1st July 2025. If so, time of supply for the interest, late fee, delay payment, actual date of payment or receipt of that particular payment, date on which supply receives such additional value. If not received, no time of supply. Received, no time of supply. Date of receipt. When received? On 1st of July. In that case, time of supply is 1st of July. So far, so good. Now, what rate of GST applicable for the interest means the rate of GST for the main supply 28% apply on 1 lakh. The same rate apply for this particular interest of rupees 10,000 with one particular small logical application. When you apply the GST here, 1 lakh into 28 by 100, because invoice issue tax invoice, tax separate, correct? When the interest received by you, which is a full and final payment, which is a full and final payment, for such full and final payment, buyer generally not going to pay interest, not going to pay GST on that. Interest only paying. Buyer will say, Ayya, evlo kastabadi I paid your amount of 1 lakh, and kastabadi I have been paid interest also. On that interest again GST, please don't ask me. If you insist now, I won't pay interest also. Like that only industrial practice. Nobody will pay the GST and the delay payment charges. As a result, the logical application here is, if the interest received for delay payment, time of supply, date of receipt. If so, the GST should be considered as inclusive basis. The interest amount how much? 10,000. What rate of GST applicable? The rate of GST applicable for the main supply will apply for accretion, which is 28%. Here 100 plus 28. Therefore, should be considered as 128. How much comes here? Quickly tell me. 10,000 into 28 by 128. GST is the amount to pay. 2,200 2,188, correct? Got the clarity what I'm saying? Generally, practically, logically, this approach is adopted finally by the CA, CMA, CS institutes. Is a practical approach. When the delay payment charges paying by the buyer of the goods, generally he won't pay delay payment charges plus GST. If you pay a goodbye, nothing specified, only interest received, time of supply, the date of receipt. What is the GST amount? GST amount is equal to the interest amount or delay payment charges amount multiplied by the given GST divided by 100 plus GST. If it is main supply, for example, not 20%, 18%, the interest also will apply. What rate? 18%, 18 by 118. Clear, my dear friends? I am referring what? Time of supply, not the value of supply. Time of supply for the interest what? Date of receipt. If the receipt not taking place, no time of supply. Is clear? Any doubt? So we refer just now like this few points. Goods sent on sale or approval basis, time of supply equal to date of invoice or date of first day the records after expiry of 6 months from of dispatch, whichever is earlier. 2. In the case of goods supplied continuously, time of supply, date of statement or date of payment, whichever is earlier. Point number 3, voucher. If the voucher is issued, gift voucher, the against a product identifiable, date of issue of voucher is the time of supply. If the voucher issued for any product which is redeemable in the future period of time, in that case, time of supply also postponed to actual date of redemption. Last point what I referred here is just now interest, delay payment, charges. What is the time of supply? The date on which you receive the payment is time of supply for the interest penalty. Is clear? Any doubt? Any doubt? No doubt? Shall I proceed further? Finally, I am presenting a simple point. இங்க பாருங்க, simple point. Finally, one more is there. Sir, my transaction not covered. Whatever provision I said, goods sent on sale or probate is not covered, continuous supply of goods not covered, voucher is not so. Is that a reverse charge? Some unique transaction, sir. What do you mean this? I supply the goods, not pay the GST. Why not pay GST? Not got registered. Why not got registered? I have not maintained the books at all. Buying the goods, selling the goods, no records. No records. One fine day, GST department, GST roaming squad, came to know my transactions, which I am doing so without recording in the books of accounts. Early morning, they raided my premises. Actually, who am I? After all, a clerk. Where? Bharatwaj Institute. I'm a clerk. How much my salary? Hardly 15,000 per month. But department GST raided my premises. Found cash, currency notes, 500 rupee notes. They counted. Whole day taken place. At the end of the day, came to know 2 crores. How much is there? 2 crores. They asked me, hey, mister, what is this money? Money, sir. How you got it? Supply of goods, sir. What good you supplied? You know, during the Corona period, 2020, 21 and 22 mid, I supplied mask, sold the mask. Not recorded? No, mask, wearing mask. Corona period, I sold the mask. That much of goods sold, 2 crores. Why not got registered? Wanted to not registered, sir. Because to avoid the payment of GST, sir. Unfortunate, you catch hold, sir. Now, what is the time of supply in such a extraordinary cases? There are 2 time of supplies. If I able to maintain some information where the department able to know my supply of goods, which month how much I made turnover, each month how much I made a turnover, then for that turnover for that month, dividend will be as on the date. For example, out of 2 crores, 80 lakhs for the period of April. April month, you are going to pay by 20th of May. Due date of payment. If you are not able to know that, it is a full 2.5 year my sales without bifurcating the month wise. I cannot do so because I have not maintained the books. Then in that case, actual date of payment of GST is a time of supply. Actual payment of GST is a time of supply. Got the clarity? Have you got it or not? If so, whatever I explained to you so far, for supply of goods, in the recently what I referred, point number 1, supply of goods sent on sale or approval basis. Second one, continuous supply of goods. Third one, vouchers. Thereafter, interest. Finally, the extraordinary cases. Is clear? These and all time of supply, miscellaneous nature. Is clear? Now, with this I can say that time of supply, supply of goods, section 12 series fully completed. Section 13 of time of supply, supply of services also be fully completed. Sir, section 13 time of supply, supply of services only you said forward charge, reverse charge. So what? Just now I said interest and time of supply, date of receipt. In case of supply of goods, supply of services also same. Supply of services, credit basis, the recipient paid later on to me with the interest. For time of supply, interest is date of receipt of payment. Sir, default provision, a particular provision what I refer to, external case. Instead of supply of goods, I supply the services but not pay the tax. Time of supply equal to date of payment of tax. I said to you, voucher issued against a product to redeem. Time of supply, date of issue of voucher. Any product, date of actual redemption, correct? Time of supply. Same applicable for supply of services. Service for which issue the voucher. What service, sir? Only for spa. In the spa, only head massage. Head massage only, gift voucher can be used. When issued, the date of issue of voucher, time of supply. The voucher issued for anything, sir. Spa, head massage, facial, get my point, body massage, anything you can use. In that case, that particular voucher, time of supply is equal to date of actual redemption. Is it clear, my dear sir? Got the clarity? Any difficulty? Goods sent on sale or approval basis, which is applicable only for goods. This provision not applicable for service. You get my point, sir? For example, bro, I took the class for your batch, so many classes, entire syllabus I completed, and I asked in the Bharatwaj Institute, sir, in a payment kudinge, kete. Bharatwaj Institute says, sir, our students return back services to take back and go. Possible? I saw, yes, sir. ಯಾರು சொல்றது எஸ் அண்ணி ஏன்பா கூட்ஸ்னா பிசிக்கல் பா நான் உங்களுக்கு கொடுத்தலாம் நீங்க திருப்பி கொடுத்தலாம் ஏன் சர்வீஸ் இன்டான்ஜிபிள் எப்படி திருப்பி கொடுப்பீங்க சொல்லுங்க இல்ல கிளாஸ் நான் என்ன சொல்ல சொல்லுங்க அப்ப நான் போயிடுவேன் இந்த பாரு நான் என்ன சொல்லி கொடுத்தாலும் கிளாஸ்ல எல்லாமே சொல்லி கொடுங்க நான் போடுவேன் நான் காசே வேணாம் ஐ எம் வெரி ஹாப்பி பிகாஸ் யூ காட் சப்ஜெக்ட் so goods sent on sale or approval basis is applicable only for goods, not applicable to service. Therefore, leave it. No time of supply for this. It's clear? It's clear? Finally, continuous supply of goods. Time of supply, date of statement, or date of payment, whichever is earlier. Is clear? Almost the same here also. Supply of services. Get the point. Date of payment, date of service, date of invoice, date of payment, date of invoice. Whichever is earlier. As simple as that. Is clear, bro? Understood or not? If you understood, the entire thing, what I explained to you, I am bringing to a notice just in one slide. In one page. Look here. Time of supply, supply of, time of supply, supply of goods. Here. Forward charge, time of supply, date of invoice or last date to issue invoice, whichever is earlier. If a specified actionable claims, date of invoice, last date to issue invoice, date of whichever is earlier. Then RCM apply, supply of goods RCM apply, date of receipt of the goods, date of payment or the first day that occurs after expiry of 30 days from the date of invoice. Among three, whichever is clear. Then voucher, identified a product or any product, any goods, date of redemption, identified a product at the time of issue of voucher, time of supply. Coming to residual provision, which is not made in the books accounts at all. Then, if you know that actual due date, date of furnishing the return, I do not know, sir, date of payment to department is the time of supply. In the case of interest penalty late fee, date of receipt of the payment. Is clear? The same is applicable here also. Time of supply of services. Time of supply of services. Here you look here. Voucher, same as goods. Residual provision, same as goods. Interest late fee, same as goods. Time of supply. Coming to time of supply for forward charge apply. Forward charge apply. Time of supply is equal to date of invoice or date of payment, whichever is earlier. If the invoice is within 30 days from the date of completion of service. If not, date of completion of service or date of payment, whichever is earlier. What is a payment? Book entry, bank entry, whichever is earlier. Here only alert. If the supplier of service a banking company, instead of 30 days time period, for them 45 days time period is given to issue invoice from the date of completion of service. That's it. Remaining same. Further, RCM case. In the case of RCM, date of payment or first day that occurs after expiry of 60 days from the date of invoice, whichever is earlier. Associate enterprise, I am not referring, is a final level. Further, complete no? Complete or not? So time of supply, supply of goods, time of supply, supply of services completed, except one advanced concept. What is the advanced concept? Means section 14. What is section 14 refers? I will tell you with a simplified example. If you follow me, my concept, you will never forget even after you qualify. Not only passing the examination. Sir, referring to you here, section 14 of the CGST, which is talks about change in effective rate of tax. Emba puridappa solradhu, change in effective rate of tax. What do you mean by change in effective rate of tax? Sir, with effect from 14th April 2025, rate of GST from 18% to 12%. 18% to 12%. From which date? 14th April 2025 onwards, rate of GST reduced from 18% to 12%. From 14th April 2025 onwards, what is the rate of GST applicable? 12%. Before 14th April, what rate of GST applicable? 18%. Is a change in the rate of tax. If so, which rate is applicable for me? Where I provided service supplied on 1st March 2025. Eppa, service provided on 1st March 2025. Payment received on when? Payment received on 1st May 2025. Sir, invoice issued when? Invoice issued on 1st April 2025. Dear friends, if this is the case, you understand the case? Change in effective rate of tax in between 3 dates. One is date of completion of service, 2 date of payment, 3 date of invoice. In between 3 dates, there is a change in the rate of tax. Yes or no? Empa, date of completion of service when? When the service completed? 1st of March. Day 1st of March. Don't say March. 1st of March. அப்போ என்ன ரேட் இருக்குப்பா? 18% இருக்கு. பேமெண்ட் ரிசீவ்ட் என்னப்பா? 1st May. அப்போ என்ன ரேட் வந்திருக்கு? 12% வந்திருக்கு. When the invoice issued? 1st April. அப்போ ரேட் வாஸ் GST 18%. இப்போ இது பாரு, இந்த 3 டேட்டுக்குள்ள change in effective rate of tax is there or not there? Yes? Hello, I am in the class. Please excuse me. My wife. டிஃபிகல்ட்டி நோ சொல்லனா கட் பண்றியா இல்லை மார்னிங் போற வர பேச மாட்டேன். நவ் லிசன் ப்ளீஸ் லிசன். ஏம்பா கொஞ்சம் கான்செப்ட் பண்ண முடியுமா? எஸ். இப்போ சேஞ்ச் இன் எஃபெக்டிவ் ரேட் ஆஃப் டேக்ஸ் பிட்வீன் 3 dates: date of completion of service, date of payment, date of invoice. இந்த 3 டேட்டுக்குள்ள within these 3 days, in between of 3 days, if there is a change in the rate of tax, which rate is applicable is a question. I am simply telling you, you follow this concept, you never going to be get stuck up in neither in the exam nor in practice. Easily will come across. Which rate applicable means, listen, in the given case 3 voters, எத்தனை பேர் இருக்காங்க? 3 voter இருக்காங்க. 3 voters. Voter number 1, date of completion of service. Voter number 2, date of payment. Voter number 3, date of invoice. These 3 days, 3 voters. Now 2 of them contesting the poll. Nana Nia. 18% old rate, 12% new rate. இப்போ we contest the poll. Here old, here new. இப்போ service complete when? Service complete when? 1st March. He cast the vote with what rate? 18%. So 18% ke 1 vote. Is clear? Thereafter payment is when? That time which rate came? So he cast the vote 1. Then finally deciding factor, invoice date. Date when? 1st April. He cast the vote 18%. So 18% 2 vote, 12% 1 vote. Who wins? In the given case 18% is applicable. Effective rate of tax is 18%. Effective rate of tax is 18%. All of you getting the clarity? Yes, online students hearing me? Which rate applicable? Effective rate. Effective rate is equal to 18%. Okay, rate of tax you applied correctly. What is time of supply? There you are excellent, my dear friend. Time of supply is what date? Careful, amma. Simple, Raja. Very, very simple. Look this side. The name of it is supply of services completed. Is a base. Service pothu is a base. What is the name of it? Its name is what? Supply of service. Is clear? This supply of service when completed? 1st March. This supply of services cost the vote. Old rate or new rate? Old rate. Is clear? Okay. Keep as a base. 2 of them are there. One is invoice date. Other one is payment date. Now, invoice date, payment date. Take payment date. Payment date also old rate supported or new rate supported? That means date of completion of service supported old rate. Correct? Payment supporting new rate, not to old rate. Then leave it. Take the date of invoice. Date of invoice support old rate, new date, old rate. So date of completion of service, old rate. Date of invoice also old rate. Get my point? So date of invoice matching with the date of completion of service. With regard to casting of vote, date of completion of service old rate, Raja. Date of invoice old rate. Date of completion also old rate. So invoice date matching with date of completion of service. If so, invoice date time of supply. Invoice date time of supply. Purida? Invoice date time of supply. Eduna time of supply invoice date? Invoice date matching with date of completion of service. Illa sir, differently we think of. Invoice date also not matching, sir. Oh, neither date of payment matching nor invoice date also matching with date of completion service. ரெண்டுமே மேட்ச் ஆகலையா? ஆமா சார். சொல்லுங்க பார்க்கல ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் இங்கே வரும்போது டேட் ஆஃப் இன்வாய்ஸ் ஹியர் 1st June சார். அப்போ rate winner will be here 1, then winner will be 12%. Now date of completion எப்போ 1st March. Invoice date matching ah? No. Payment date matching ah? No. In that case, cool. Look, invoice date, payment date. Invoice date or payment date. Among the two, whichever is earlier. Whichever is earlier. When neither invoice date nor payment date matching with date of completion of service, then take invoice date or payment date. Whichever is earlier is what a time of supply. Sir, யாச சொன்னாங்க here payment is 1st April, sir. Oh, 1st April payment ah. That means invoice not matching, payment is matching with what? Date of completion of service. Appo date of payment is the time of supply. Date of payment. Invoice date of completion of service. இதோட invoice match ஆகுதா இல்லைனா பேமெண்ட் மேட்ச் ஆகுதா பார்க்கணும். பேமெண்ட் மேட்ச் ஆகுது சார், இன்வாய்ஸ் மேட்ச் ஆகல சார். அப்போ டைம் ஆஃப் சப்ளை ஈக்குவல் டு டேட் ஆஃப் பேமெண்ட். சார் இன்வாய்ஸ் டேட் மேட்சிங் சார் வித் டேட் ஆஃப் கம்ப்ளீஷன் ஆஃப் சர்வீஸ், பேமெண்ட் நாட் மேட்சிங் சார். அப்போ டேட் ஆஃப் இன்வாய்ஸ், டைம் ஆஃப் சப்ளை. சார் ரெண்டுமே மேட்ச் ஆக மாட்டேது சார். அப்படியா? கூல். அப்ளை டேட் ஆஃப் பேமெண்ட் ஆர் டேட் ஆஃப் இன்வாய்ஸ், விச் எவர் இஸ் earlier. நீங்க பேசுனா வரும் ராஜா, நீங்க இன்வால்வ் ஆகிட்டு பேசணும் எனக்கு கூட, அப்போதான் சப்ஜெக்ட் கற்றுக்க முடியும். இஃப் யூ லிசன் யூ ஃபர்கெட். Got the clarity? If you really understood, if I bring to your notice a numeric example, able to answer? Are you ready to answer? Change in rate of tax in case of supply of services. How to understand? There are so many points I brought. First point, supply is completed before change in the rate of tax. Yes, supply completed before change in the rate of tax. Yes, yes means old rate. Correct? Yes or no? Supply completion cost the what? Old rate. Invoice issued before change rate of tax? No. That means invoice issued, invoice after change means cost the what? New rate. Thereafter payment received before change rate of tax? No. That means after change. So invoice date cost the what? New rate. Payment also cost the what? New rate. Service only computed a old rate. Old rate got how many votes? 1 vote. New rate got how many votes? Which is the effective rate of tax? New rate. New rate apply. Neither invoice date nor payment date matching with date of completion of service. Appo time of supply is equal to, speak out. This side speak out. This side speak out. Date of invoice or date of payment, whichever is earlier. சொல்லுங்க பார்க்கலாம். Date of payment or date of invoice, whichever is earlier. When neither date of invoice nor date of payment matching with date of completion of service, appo whichever is earlier. Is clear? Any difficulty? The second point, service completed before completion of service, before change? Yes. Cost the what? Old rate. Invoice before change? Yes. Cost the old rate. Old rate. Old rate got 2 votes. Who is the winner? Old rate. So old rate is winner. Now payment before change? No. New rate. That means to the date of completion of service, date of invoice matching, date of payment is matching. Date of invoice matching, time of supply equal to date of invoice. Is clear? Got the clarity? You close your eye and just put any finger on it. So much is there, no? Any finger. I put here first point, finger. இதை பாரு, இது goods இல்லை, goods. No problem, goods has no problem. What is the problem? No problem. Same concept. Majority principle. பஜார் பிரின்சிபல் இல்லை, மெஜாரிட்டி பிரின்சிபல். அப்படி தோணுது பஜாருக்கு போலான்னு, என்ன பண்றது? கேளுங்க படையப்பா, கேளுங்கப்பா. Now listen, goods. Date of supply is completed before change of rate of tax. Yes. So goods supplied எப்போ? Before change means old rate. Invoice issued before change? No. New rate. Payment received before change? No. That means new rate got 2 votes, old rate got 1 vote. Who won? New rate, based on the majority principle. Which is applicable? New rate or old rate? New rate apply. Is clear? For effective rate of tax. Furthermore, close your eye and touch the point here. I am touching here. One. So point number 4. Point number 4. Date of supply of goods before change? No. Before change means no. Means what? New rate. Date of invoice before change? Yes. Old rate. The invoice, the payment before change? Yes. Old rate got how many votes? Who is the winner? Old rate is the winner. Is it clear? Here only be alert. Be alert. We understood time of supply of goods, forward charge apply. We understood nama, time of supply of goods, forward charge apply other than the specified actionable claims. நான் என்ன சொன்னேன்? Date of invoice or last date to issue invoice, whichever is இல்லை சொன்னேன் இல்லையா, அதே கான்செப்ட் இங்கே வந்துடும். அவ்வளோதான். பேமெண்ட், அட்வான்ஸ் பேமெண்ட் cannot be time of supply. No mind. Supply of goods amma, forward charge applies other than specified actionable claims. Time of supply cannot be advance payment. அதனால ரெண்டே இருக்கு இங்க. என்ன இருக்கு? Date of invoice or last date to issue invoice, whichever is the time of supply for all possibility cases of time of supply of goods where there is a change in the effective rate of tax. Simple. Service la கஷ்டப்பட வேண்டும். இதனால compare with the date of completion of service, invoice matching, payment matching, both are not matching, அந்த மாதிரி தொல்லை இங்க இல்லை. Is clear? புரியுதா ராஜா? கண்ணு மூடி நீ சொல்லலாம் date of invoice. If not, last date to issue invoice, whichever is earlier is the time of supply here also. Is clear? Now if I bring the problem, எப்படி answer? If you answer the problem, then I can declare to say that you are perfectly enough to understand the provision. No problem. No problem at all. Any problem you can solve. Is clear? Shall I bring the problem to your notice now? Example referring here. With regard to section 14, change in effective rate of tax. Understood here. Supplier Mrs. X Limited, service supplied. Recipient Mrs. Y Limited. FCM apply, forward charge. Date of service completed. 10th January 2025. Date of invoice 1st March 2025. Date of payment. Date of payment always you refer what? Book entry or bank entry, whichever is earlier. Let us say here is 20th April 2025. Is clear, bro? Now, in the given case, what happened? Change in rate of tax 28% to 18%. With effect from 1st February 2025. With effect from 1st February 2025, change in rate of tax 18% to 28% to 18%. Repeating, change in effective rate of tax from 28% to 18% with effect from 1st February 2025. Is clear, Amma? Supplier, recipient, FCM only applies. In the given case, I want answer. What is effective rate of tax? Effective rate of tax, tell me. Huh? 18%? Excellent, Amma. Hats off to you. Perfectly correct answer. How you got a date of completion of service? 1st January, before change. Old rate. Payment 20th April, after change. Invoice after change. Therefore, new rate. New rate got 2 votes. Perfectly said, 18%. I am very happy. Now tell me time of supply. Date of invoice. Date of invoice also perfectly correct, my dear. Why? How you got it? Explain. Since neither date of invoice nor date of payment matching with date of completion of service, therefore date of invoice or date of payment, whichever is earlier. Which is earlier? Date of invoice. Excellent. Is the time of supply. That's it. It is with regard to what? Supply of services. Coming to supply of goods. Supply of goods. Let us see how many of you are going to answer correctly. Be careful. Be careful. Example. Change in effective rate of tax with effect from 1st April 2025 from 18% to 28%. From 18 to 28%. Supplier sold goods on 1st March 2025. Supplier sold the goods 1st March. That means supply does not involve movement of the goods. Is clear? Invoice date. Invoice date 1st May 2025. Date of payment. Date of payment. Let us say. Date of payment. Let us say 31st March 2025. Is clear, bro? Now you tell me what is my effective rate of tax. Correctly you tell me. Effective rate of tax is what? 18%. How can you say date of supply of goods 1st March before change? Supply of goods before change. Date of invoice after change. Payment before change. got 2 votes, old rate. Therefore, right you said 18%. Perfectly correct. Coming to time of supply, TOS. First March. Excellent, Bo. How can you say first March? Because date of invoice or last date to issue invoice. Date of invoice first May 25. Last date to issue invoice first of March, which is earlier. 1st of March 2025 is the time of supply. Rightly you said. Perfectly correct. If it is a 5 marks now, out of 5, 5 you will get. But you have to give explanation. In the case of supply of goods, time of supply is date of invoice or last date to issue invoice, whichever is earlier, even though in the case of change in effective rate of tax. Is clear? Got the clarity? With this, time of supply chapter is complete for your batch. Thank you, my dear friends. See you next class. Oh, class over, pa.